The afternoon sun burned hot on the cracked pavement of Maplewood Avenue when it happened. A young girl, fragile yet determined, wheeled herself down the sidewalk with the quiet dignity only someone who had learned to live with pain could carry. Her wheelchair squeaked with every turn, her thin arms pushing against the metal rims, her head bent low as if she wanted to be invisible. But cruelty does not let the week pass quietly. 3 boys, loud, careless, and full of arrogance, stepped into her path. What followed was a moment that would change her life forever. They laughed, jeered, and without a thought for the consequences, they shoved her into the busy street. Her chair tipped, her body lurched forward, and for a single terrifying second, it seemed as if the world had abandoned her. Cars screeched, horns blared, and in that frozen heartbeat of fear, fate seemed crueler than ever. Before I take you further into this emotional journey, I want to pause for a moment. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the power of standing up for what's right, then please take a second to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness Corner. Your support helps spread these powerful stories that remind us all of the goodness still left in humanity. Now, let's continue. The girl's name was Emily. She was just 14, with bright brown eyes that still carried sparks of dreams, though life had already placed heavy chains around her. Born with a condition that left her unable to walk, she had grown up in a world that too often pitted her, or worse, forgot her. Her mother worked 2 jobs, her father was gone, and Emily carried herself each day with quiet resilience, even when whispers followed her in school hallways. The bullies saw her as an easy target. That afternoon, when they shoved her into the road, their laughter was louder than the honking horns. But fate has a way of turning cruelty into redemption. As Emily's wheelchair tilted dangerously near the asphalt, the roar of engines broke through the chaos. From around the corner came a thunderous rumble that made every head turn. A group of bikers, leather vests glinting under the sun, chrome shining like fire, appeared out of nowhere. They weren't ordinary men on motorcycles, they were a brotherhood, a family forged on the roads. The leader, a tall man with gray streaks in his beard and a scar across his cheek, was the first to act. He swerved his Harley to block traffic, the machine growling like a guardian beast, while another rider leapt off his bike and rushed to Emily's side. Strong hands caught her before she could fall, steadying the wheelchair and shielding her from danger. The bullies froze, their laughter dying in their throats. The bikers towered over them, not with violence, but with a presence so commanding that silence fell over the street. Emily, trembling, looked up at her rescuers. For the first time in a long while, she didn't see pity in someone's eyes, she saw protection, strength, and something she had almost forgotten existed, respect. From that day, everything began to shift. The bikers weren't just strangers passing through town. They became her guardians in a way no one had expected. They rode alongside her when she wheeled home from school, their engines warning anyone who dared to think of mocking her. They taught her that she wasn't weak, she was a fighter, a survivor. Slowly, Emily's confidence returned. The same girl who once tried to disappear into the corners of classrooms began to sit taller, her eyes brighter, her smile braver. But life is never simple. The bullies didn't forget, and neither did the town. Whispers spread, why were bikers spending time with a disabled girl? People judged, pointed fingers, and cast shadows of doubt. Emily wrestled with shame again, asking herself if she deserved their protection. Yet, every time she wheeled down the street and saw the bikers waiting for her with a nod and a smile, she realized something deeper. Kindness doesn't always come dressed the way society expects. Sometimes it comes with leather jackets, tattoos, and engines loud enough to shake the ground. Months passed, and Emily grew stronger, not physically, but inside. She began drawing, painting her dreams on canvas, inspired by the brotherhood who had saved her. Her art carried messages of strength, of hope, of how light could rise from the darkest cruelty. One of her paintings, a girl in a wheelchair surrounded by protective angels who looked like bikers, went viral after her mother shared it online. People across the world saw Emily's heart, and the once-forgotten girl became a symbol of resilience. The bullies, once so sure of their power, now walked the same streets with lowered eyes. The town that had doubted the bikers now respected them. And Emily, sweet Emily, finally felt what she had longed for all her life: belonging. She was no longer just the disabled girl. She was the brave soul who stood tall despite sitting in a chair, the artist whose pain became hope for others, the girl who reminded the world that kindness can roar louder than cruelty. As the years went on, Emily's bond with the bikers only grew. They were there at her school graduation, engines thundering in celebration. They were there when she held her first art exhibition, standing proud in the back as the crowd applauded. And they were there every time life tried to break her spirit, reminding her that family is not always the one you're born into, it's the one that rides in when you need them most. And so, what began with a cruel shove on a hot afternoon ended as a story of redemption, love, and unexpected heroes. Emily's life was changed forever by the kindness of strangers who appeared at the very moment she thought the world had turned against her. If this story touched your heart, I want to ask you again, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. It helps us keep sharing stories that remind the world that compassion still exists, even in the most surprising places. Special request, please comment below what you would have done if you had seen those bullies shove Emily into the street. Your words might inspire someone else to take action the next time they witness cruelty.